Hello everyone, Onlydraven here again, and today we're doing a tutorial in the Minecraft mod pack, All the Mods 8. All the Mods 8 is a newer and really great mod pack that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy playing. So this series will be tutorials to help those players who maybe have never done a pack before or have questions about specific features or goals within this pack. Now, it is a larger pack. It's going to contain a big chunk of space in your computer, and it can require quite a bit of RAM in order to play. So I do recommend allocating additional RAM to the game when playing it. If you're not sure how to do that, I will link a tutorial down in the description of this tutorial with a link showing you how to add additional RAM to your mod pack. Now, if you find this video helpful and you like it, please be sure to click like. But most importantly, please remember to hit that subscribe button so that way you can see all my videos and tutorials as they come out. Alright, so All the Mods 8, as I said, is a great large pack that has a vast array of different mods contained within it. What we're going to cover in this tutorial are the different guide or progression steps within the pack to help guide you through playing it. One great thing about All the Mods 8 is that while it has several different progression paths to follow, you don't have to strictly follow them. You're not railroaded to do a specific thing every single time. You have freedom to really bounce between the different mods and activities as you enjoy and focus on what you like. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our inventory here. And upper left-hand corner, you're going to see a quest book. If you click on this, it's going to take you to this screen, All the Mods 8. These are the progression steps for this mod pack. Now, you're going to click on this little star picture here, and there'll be a little check mark. I've already clicked mine. But if you go ahead and click that, it will give you the rewards of a physical quest book you can carry around, as well as 10 experience. As you progress through these progression steps, you will have tasks which will require you to build or gather specific items, but some of them will have just a little gray circle with a check mark in it, and if you click on that, you'll get whatever rewards that were available. These boxes are meant more for information for you to have before progressing further in whatever path you're in, okay? So let's look at the different paths. So there's all the modium, tips and tricks, and bounty boards. These are three things that you will work with throughout your playthrough. All the modium is some of the end game items and tools and stuff you can make out of very hard to get materials. Tips and tricks are different items that you'll get throughout either using them or gathering them throughout your playthrough that will make your playthrough much easier. You can come in here and click on any of these and it'll say, hey, make one of these. You'll get some rewards. If it's a little says random reward, that means you'll get one of those things listed on the right, Imperial Essence, and it gives you a percentage of what your chances of getting those. But some of them, like I said, have just a little question mark. Now, many of these, if there's a question mark before other ones, you'll have to click on this one and finish it before it'll let you move on to the next step. Now, there's nothing connecting these, so you don't have to, but let me show you what I mean. If we go over to the Getting Started tab, you'll see here's the very first one. It's a check mark. I've already checked it. I got some meat, I got a special book, and I got some torches. Now, this next step says Getting Wood. It wants me to get 8 oak blocks of wood and 16 planks. Now, I've already got the planks from building and prepping to do this tutorial, but if I had both of these things, I wouldn't have unlocked the achievement if I hadn't completed this one first. So you can see these little arrows that move, point you towards the next step. You can make, say for this one, the stone axe and stone things that you need, but you won't unlock the achievement and get the reward for it until you've completed the steps before it. Now, in situations like this, where there are several different ways to go, you can go whichever one you like, progressing forward and even bouncing around. Now, a lot of these, what you see, these are the achievements for this tab. That doesn't mean there aren't more achievements that will be added as you progress. For example, if you got up here and completed this one, it's possible a whole nother one could just appear up here that you don't see right now. That does happen from time to time, giving you more steps within this path. So that's Getting Started, and I do recommend starting with that path. It'll walk you through the basics, get you into some really early power stuff. There are a couple things up here at the top that are going to be, you're going to probably get later in game, a little bit harder, and also introducing you into the mystical agriculture that's included. And then after this, there's a part 2. Now, part 2 ends with a creative flight in an angel ring, and it needs unobtainium, vibranium, some of those end game harder to get things I talked about. So you may start on getting started part 2, but you'll probably bounce to other paths before you ever finish this one, and that's okay. There are several different storage mods in this one. You have basic storage, which is going to be functional storage drawers, sophisticated storage, which are chests that can be upgraded to be larger inside, and then backpacks, which work the same way, but you can carry them with you. There's the Applied Energetics 2 storage system, which many of you will be familiar with from other packs, as well as the Refined storage system. And Refined storage is a good example where I was saying a moment ago, as you complete these steps, there's going to be a whole lot more that pop up around here as you progress through them, with more things you can do with Refined storage. For resource gathering, this is not in Skyblock. Okay, it looks like it because I built kind of up over the ocean here. Ooh, raining a little bit, but this is a regular world. You can mine. I chose this location because it's a little bit easier for me to get around and film, but there are mountains and all the different biomes you'd expect. In fact, a lot of extra ones because of the different mods included. You'll be doing regular mining and resource gathering for the early part of the game. But when you're ready to move into more advanced, you have, of course, food and farming, different ways to gather resources that way. Mystical agriculture, which, as we all know, is a wonderful product and a way to make a lot of resources relatively easy. And then in this pack, another main one is going to be the productive bees. Productive bees are great. And in this pack, they're very a highlight for me. They're one of my favorite parts of this pack. Once you get them up and going, the amount of resources that they can provide comparatively to how hard it is to put it together is overwhelmingly positive. You get yourself a good set of, say, iron bees, and you'll be drowning in iron pretty quickly. For power, as I mentioned, there are a lot of different generators and things of that nature, some of the reactors. So in this first spot, basic power, it's going to show you some of the different ways to make or transfer power and store power. And then for other than basic generators, windmills, solar, things like that, there's also bigger reactors, which is a wonderful way to provide a lot of power. And once you get a hold of some uranium, way more steps will start to appear here as well, walking you through building your first reactor, which you can do relatively early game once you get a hold of some of that uranium, which is not hard to mine. Now, when it comes to technology packs, 3 of the main ones are going to be the Create system, Mechanism, and Industrial Foregoing. As you can see, there's a lot of machines in these and a lot of different steps you can go through. These are very common mods to be found in a lot of packs, so you may have some familiarity with much of this. But one thing, again, that's great about all the mods 8 is it does walk you through some of the lesser used items in the game as well. So you may, again, find stuff included in Mechanism that you've just never really played with before. So this is a great way to progress through that. For magic packs, we have Ars Nouveau and Elemental Craft. So if you're looking for the more mystical type mods, there are several of those in here. And then for exploration, we have Blue Skies and Twilight Forest, which are their own zones that you can go to with their own progression paths, adventures, bosses, things to fight, so on and so forth. Now, even though I named these 3 as technology mods and these 3 as magic mods, there are many more than I'm just listed here. But these are the primary or larger ones that the pack is built upon. But within the JEI itself, you're going to find a lot of mods that aren't on this list. Or on some of these, you may find multiple mods on one page. But there's a lot of different things in the JEI. Highly recommend looking through there. You're going to find some fun stuff to play with. So that's progression in that path, but one great thing about all the mods 8 has a second path for progression. If you press the L key on your keyboard, you get this Advancements tab, which you may have seen in some other packs like Sky Factory 4, using this type of advancements to move forward. Same kind of idea. There are different tabs for different things. Again, we have Tombstone tutorial for Tombstone, which Corel Tombstone is a mod. That wasn't in the other progression path. And there are some things that's in the other progressions we just looked at that's not on this page. But there is some carryover, such as Mechanism and things like that. The biomes you'll go, repurposed structures, better dungeons. There are so many different dungeons and places of interest and boats and ships and airships and castles. There's a lot of fun places to go out in the world and discover and adventure through. You're going to find a lot of fun stuff out in the world. Much like I was saying on the other paths, though, as you complete things on this path, it will then add additional steps for you to complete after that on many of these pages, as well as additional tabs will appear that aren't here at the beginning as you find and discover different things throughout the world. Picking up items from a specific mod may pull up a new tab for that mod. It's like Twilight Forest. Once you go to the Twilight Forest, a Twilight Forest tab could pop up. So there's a lot of different ways to advance here, and then there's a lot of different ways to advance up here. And again, you can do them pretty much in any order you want. If there's something in here you don't like, you don't have to use it. This is a pack that is well ranged with a lot of options, so you are not railroaded having to use anything hardcore specific. So the last thing I'm going to touch upon, of course, is what is the goal of all the Mods 8? A very common question I get with mod packs. The goal is to have fun, right? Those paths are there as a way for you to go through the pack and experience as much of it as possible. But really, as long as you're having fun, that's the main reason to be there. If you're looking for an end game goal, then in that situation, it would be to make the All the Mods star. It's a very hard item to make. It requires a lot of hard-to-get items from a large selection of different mods. So if you want to make that, you're going to have to complete almost all of the different progression steps we saw and unlock a lot of real endgame components to be able to build that star. But it is quite an achievement to put one together. If you manage to do so, I'd love to hear about it. So this was just a brief tutorial to get you introduced in the pack, show you how to get started and how to progress with it. I'm planning on doing a lot more tutorials on the different steps in the progressions specifically, as well as how to use different blocks, introductions to other mods like the productive bees, mechanism. If there's mods you haven't seen, I'm going to be doing a large amount of tutorials on this, so definitely stay tuned for those. If you have a suggestion for a tutorial you'd like to see in All the Mods 8, please put that down in the comments description area underneath of this video. I'd love to hear your ideas, and I'd be happy to try to put something together. As well as if you have any questions about this tutorial or any of my tutorials, put them down there. I'll do my best to get back with you as quickly as I can. But that is going to do me for today. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and I hope you'll come back and enjoy more All the Mods 8's tutorials. But until then, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.